Hey guys, it's Anthony Tucker, BHS Class of 2007, and I'm here with my fellow 2007 classmate, Sara Lunsford. Sara, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Anthony. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you right now. Between Tyler Glenn the other day, we've hit two people from 2007, so I'm feeling pretty special. Tell me about, as we travel back in time to our era, you know, we're in the press box today here at Custer Stadium, and Sara and I were talking before we came on camera, and it's like, we had none of this.
Yeah. Our video equipment was not this savvy.
No, it was definitely shaky at times.
Audio terrible.
Yes, and back then, when you would record video, you'd have to remember the audio is still capturing. So you later on, when football would watch or soccer would watch, it's like, let's make sure not to say anything that's going to get us or the rest of the team in trouble during this recording session of this game.
Don't overshare.
Overshare. That's a rule for everybody. Overshare. Remember that when you think about posting on social media.
Absolutely.
Overshare. So speaking of sharing, kind of share what happened after high school. What have you been up to?
So I tried the college thing for a little bit. That didn't necessarily work out. A for effort, though. Trying something is also learning.
Yes.
So failure is just another lesson in life. So I've always applied that to my life now. In the past, I did not. I was very critical. But after that, I've joined the service. I was in the Army National Guard. I was stationed at Camp Shelby in Mississippi, and I helped National Guard units mobilize and demob. And then I got training from a 25 Bravo, which is information technology specialist. And now I am a supervisor at ConocoPhillips in IT of data analytics platforms.
Wow.
So, yeah, super crazy story.
Yeah.
Love that I ended up here though.
But your experience in the
service
was it what opened a door for you to eventually be
Absolutely.
at ConocoPhillips?
Yeah.
And I think, when we think of kids, and we were talking about this before, but kids seeing that there's different avenues to their careers and that the traditional pathway of college is not always the only pathway to end up within a career that you love.
Yeah. It's a lot harder, though.
Yeah.
I would say that it took a lot of determination and certifications and things like that in order to put me in this trajectory that I'm on now. But yeah, a lot of effort.
So at ConocoPhillips, something that we've kind of collabed on recently is Girls Talk Tech, and I'm sure some of you out there in our alumni network have been a part of that, either in Bartlesville or at the Houston campus at ConocoPhillips.
That is correct, yeah.
So kind of tell everybody what Girls Talk Tech is and the whole reasoning and purpose behind it.
So Girls Talk Tech is an initiative to educate, encourage, and empower young women to choose a path on a STEM career, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. Totally believe that with my whole heart. We need more women in technology. It basically started because of the statistic that there's less than 30% of women in IT. That statistic probably has changed since then from when the group started years ago. It started in Houston, and we ended up starting a Bartlesville affiliate is what it's called in, I think, the end of 2019, right before 2020. So our first year was very silent. We didn't get a lot of stuff done, but it's been super rewarding. We do panels at schools, and we have a career day coming up that Bartlesville is going to take part in. We try to invite them at least once a year, and we do career day twice a year. And it's just showcasing different jobs at ConocoPhillips. We do a resume workshop, job shadowing. And we talk about the internship program that ConocoPhillips offers, which is a wonderful opportunity that wasn't there whenever I was in high school. So definitely talk to your counselors about that. And yeah, it's great. So we're partnering to get students from Bartlesville High School to come to the campus in COP and just learn more about jobs and STEM.
Yeah, and that's exciting. I spent a majority of my career in manufacturing, especially right out of my undergrad. And the big thing was removing the stigma about careers in manufacturing, regardless if your pathway from the service or from getting associates or straight into the workforce or a traditional bachelor's degree pathway. It was manufacturing is not dirty. That was the whole thing from NAM, the National Association of Manufacturers. And it was getting girls in manufacturing as well. So we focused a lot on it was called Dream It, Do It.
Okay.
And so with Dream It, Do It, it was kind of similar. It was showing girls in engineering within manufacturing careers. And, a lot of my time was in Muskogee at the port, with the Port Authority, and it's so cool. I love seeing programs like this because it takes a lot of passion to drive it.
It does, yeah.
Because you're balancing your other day-to-day, but it's so rewarding, and I know that you feel the same way, that when you open doors of opportunity for other kids, I know that another class of 2007 classmate of ours, Taylor Doe, when we had Tito back And last academic year, talking about and then moments, right? It's those little and then moments. And what you guys are doing are creating and then moments. So a kid later on can say, oh, and then I went to Girls Talk Tech, and then I got an internship my senior year. And then, you know, and it just kind of
Spirals.
It's definitely like spirals into something pretty cool. So traveling back in time, what was your go-to song? What was that song you would turn on the car when you were just like, got to get your mood up, right?
Whenever I try to get happy, I don't know. I listened to a lot of emo in high school. So like Dashboard Confessional, definitely my jam. Boxcar Racer, like back in like a jamming like
Screaming Infidelities.
Like
Dashboard.
like I Feel So by Dashboard Confessional. Like those kind of hype me up, which doesn't make sense. I mean, probably, I don't know, like an old rap song. But like I can't pull from those depths right now.
The other day, we referenced Tyler Glenn, a classmate of ours. He was saying like Windows to the Wall, and that's as far as we got with that conversation. But I was like, that's the
song that came to mind. I was like, I can't say that.
So
can't say those.
You can do your own Google search, our fellow Bruins out there. But that was definitely like an upbeat song. Anything like Yin Yang Twins.
Like any rap throwback.
Nelly.
Probably.
Like Nelly Number One is a song that comes to mind. Or Hot in Here. Like those are songs that are just like happy, upbeat. But Dashboard definitely. They had an emo night the other night at Kane's Ballroom.
Oh no!
It was like Sum 41.
Stop it! I did not even know. I need to check into my bands in town now.
I know. I don't get to go out. I have 2 children, 2 and under. No, we just do family stuff. But I don't even know. That would have been awkward. I mean, like it'd been cool, but then I think like 15 minutes later, I'd been like, I don't know. Maybe it's good to just get some barbecue or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So speaking of awkward, rate your car, your first car that you drove in high school. So tell me what it was, and then was it awkward, or were you proud of it when you rolled up on the lot?
No, I was so mortified. It looked like a booger. It was like a green, like round. It was a Hyundai Accent. Like 2-door standard stick shift, you know. Door handle was missing on one side, had some dents. Cloth interior, great gas mileage. Yes. I'd be thankful for that now, but back then, very embarrassed. But then whenever I think I was like 17, I got an upgrade. I got a yellow Chevy Cavalier, and I thought I was hot stuff in that car for sure. It was awesome. I love that car.
Were you one of the first in your friend group to turn 16? Or were you like later on? I
can't remember. I was in April, so I was later on. So Ryan Jenkinson was in my friend group, and he was like a year older. So he turned 16 well before we were 16. So he drove us a lot of places. In his little S10 Ford pickup or whatever, with the weird back seat, or was sideways. It a Chevy? I can't remember, but it had you sat sideways.
You definitely you were just like, please, let's make it to where we're supposed to go.
And I was the shortest, and always I always had to get in the back seat. I feel like anytime that I went anywhere with my friends. So, and Eric Soul had his little his little car, his Honda, super fun, great times in that. So my friends definitely had way cooler cars than me.
I agree. Until I got the Caddy. When I got the Caddy and it had the digital
you were
dash,
styling.
I was and I would just lean all the way back. I had all leather, kind of like this old school leather jacket.
That's hilarious.
It was good times. So talk about good times. Where was somewhere that was just your favorite place to eat during high school? Because we had off-campus lunch, which is different than our current setup now for our kids.
Man, I don't know. I feel like we went for tacos a lot. We were all about tacos. There used to be a little shop on the corner here, and we would go there sometimes for sandwiches. Or home, because I lived 5 or 6 blocks from here. Or I think we had Amanda Jones. We went to her house some.
Where she lived a block away.
A block away. It was super fast and convenient. Or sometimes we just eat in the cafeteria, walking to your car, driving off campus. Sometimes it wasn't worth it. So
I just had to go. We would go
get away.
Get away. We would go somewhere a buffet and then just go to town on the buffet
before
football.
Mongolian grill. I do. Yes. Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then regret it later during football. And I'm like, oh, we shouldn't have done Chinese today. But you know what? It felt good at the moment.
Tasted delicious.
Tasted delicious.
The first time.
First time around. So I will say, talk about impacts in high school. Who was the most impactful teacher that you had during your time at the senior high?
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark,
Mr.
taught
Clark.
math. Yeah.
Yeah, taught math. He was also a college professor on the side. He pushed me. Like, I really, like, challenged me a lot, and I appreciated that because he knew that I could do a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
So appreciate him for
Yeah.
like pushing me outside of my comfort zone and like really going for it and, you know, getting past that mental block. He was a great coach for, at least for me. So.
Yeah, and I would say there was one time I had Mr. Clark as well. And he was a cool dude, and he kept up with sports and knew everything. And one time he had to relight his pilot light for his water heater, and he came back with no eyebrows. And I'm like, should I look? Should I not look? Should I look? And then finally he's like, I'm just gonna address the room here. My wife had me relight the pilot light, and it burned my eyebrows off. It cinched them. So for like weeks, it's just going back. I was like, I feel bad for you, bro. Like, that's a tough look, because high schoolers, you know, are so judgmental.
Yeah, we are.
Even before social media, we didn't need the dislike button or to send a comment.
We didn't need to rate our friends.
No, we just said it, and it was like, okay, that's how you feel today. But yeah, Mr. Clark, OG. Like, I would say mine was definitely Miss Tresner. You know, Neptune and I, Jeff Neptune, we got Student of the Year for journalism. We brought Video Yearbook back, which hadn't existed since the 90s. She was just so impactful. I had her for 4 years, so she had to put up with me. She just let us be us, and that was pretty cool. But back then, you could walk outside. You could do things that kids can't do now because of lockdown and just safety protocols, and you know that. So I definitely enjoyed that, and it impacted to what I'm doing today. So
it has.
So.
Well, I'm IT, so math definitely had an impact on me. I'm in STEM. So.
Look at you. We're all grown up, and the people we had in high school definitely made a positive impact.
Absolutely.
So since you graduated, have you come back for any football games? Like,
no, I've been a ghost, actually. This is probably only like the second time that I've been in this building since high school. And the first time was to do a tour for a Girls Talk Tech panel that we were trying to do, or that we did last year, I think, to make sure that equipment was fine for everything that we had. So super, it's been a while.
It's different, right?
Yeah, it's different.
'Cause, you know, back then we were split up, and we've talked about that with other alums, but, you know, we were split up, so there wasn't all of us in one building.
No.
And now we have about 1,800 kids, including our Bruin Academy, our alternative high school. So it's a lot of kids in one building. And, you know, we have on-campus lunch now, so no off-campus lunch. So each lunch is, 400, 500 kids. So there's a little bit of different challenges that we face with so many kids, being on one campus.
I bet, yeah.
Contiguous campus. There's a little geography term I learned. You know what I'm saying? But it's still like I see it sometimes. Like, they still have that connection, especially when it comes to sports, as we're looking out on the Bruins practicing today.
Yeah.
It's still there, even though they have so many other issues they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like the social judgment that comes through social media. And I know Chuck is real big. Like, we're looking at a book. It's about the anxious generation. So it's about the impact of devices on our kids and how we are trying to reduce that device time here at BPS. And I've seen it. And it's been a lot different this year for our kids as they're putting the phone down and they're doing other stuff. And they're reconnecting.
That's wonderful.
So like my thing is, like, where did you go to middle school?
Central. Yeah.
So you remember Mr. Sears, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah. My parents had Mr. Sears as a teacher. So
he was, shop was like his original thing before he became a principal. And so like Earl, like, he would make you feel seen no matter what. No matter if you weren't in the band, orchestra, choir, football, soccer, whatever it was. Yeah. You were important, and he was going to make sure that day that you felt that.
Yeah, he said hi to everyone by their name. He did call me the wrong name every time, Mrs. Bridges, but that's okay.
That's okay. Kelsey, shout out. We had interviewed Kelsey last spring because she was teacher of the game at an OKC Thunder game. Yeah. It was pretty cool for her. But I think about that. Like, when I'm walking in the hallway here at our high school campus, like, I just try to say, like, have a good day. Hey, how are you doing? Like, little things that I know made an impact on me, because you never know what somebody's going through, right?
Oh, everyone goes through stuff silently.
Yeah. And so it's pretty cool. And I think it takes maturing a little bit to realize that, and not feeling like everyone's judging you, which sometimes can happen in high school. So did you go to the 10-year anniversary or reunion?
I did not. No, I did not.
Well, I didn't go to the dance. That was never my thing in high school anyway. So I was, but I remember coming to the football game. But yeah, so it is, people change, and it's like your guard kind of drops down a little bit, and you're just like, we're adults. Let's
Oh
just,
yeah, we've all grown up so much.
Yeah.
Like anytime I see someone from high school, I'm like, oh, I'm so different.
Yeah.
I'm so different. I'm not that person.
So if you could tell your high school age self one thing, travel back in time,
Oh man,
what would you tell yourself?
it's not that serious.
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like with everything, like
Yeah.
stuff that people say to you, you know, like it's not that serious. What matters is what you think of you, like
Yeah.
your own internal sense of self. So that's where it has to start. You have to start on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be miles above where I am
Yeah.
now if you didn't take everything so seriously.
Yeah,
So-
hindsight's always 2020, right?
Always, yeah.
And you look back and I was like, I wish I would have done things different. You know, I think about that, like, if I was more focused in the beginning of college versus just worrying about soccer and
Yeah.
girls and all that stuff, like, yeah, sure, but I wouldn't be who I am today if I
Oh,
didn't
it
go
shapes
through.
you.
Yeah, it shapes you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I appreciate, I hope that you come back for homecoming.
Oh, well, maybe. We'll see.
Well, see, you're like, I don't know, this is a big group of people.
I know. I used to film football.
Yeah.
So, like, whenever I was a senior. So, I mean, it does have a special place in my
Yeah.
heart. I just don't follow high school, football. So.
Well, we score a lot more points than we did back then, because Sarah can verify as the leading scorer of the 2005 and 2006 Bruins, your boy.
my gosh.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was like 16 points my junior year. We were not very good.
No.
Senior year, we got a lot better, and I probably had 50 points or something. But and then senior year was a good year. We had standout players. You know,
We
Bryce
did.
Hood makes All-State, walks on to Oklahoma State.
Markell.
Markell goes on to be drafted in the 6th round by the New England Patriots.
Yep.
You know, Kevin Keedy at quarterback, he was a tough dude. We had great people on the line. We were a unit. Even though, and that's the thing, is being a Bruin is not always just about winning everything.
No.
It's about winning those relationships and those moments where you have opportunity to grow and impact other people.
It's about the team.
Yeah, it's about the team. And I think the late, Spence Rigdon, when I coached the Bruins soccer, that's one thing he taught to me is like, Tuck, you're never going to win every game. You're not going to be Jinx and Union all the time. But what you can do is win that moment, teach kids what it's like to be a Bruin. And I feel like a lot of those values were instilled by coaches from that era,
Oh, yeah.
our era.
For sure.
Where you can have big aspirations and knocking off the champ, but then understand like what is true success for you as you grow. And Sarah, it was real great to talk with you.
You too,
and
Anthony.
reconnect.
Yeah.
But yeah, and thank you for your service.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. It was
yes.
a pleasure. Yeah.
All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Anthony. This is Sarah. Let's go Bruins.